I want to build a robot that you can drive over the internet around the ranch to explore what we've got going on here at Electric Ranch. The first design I've settled on is a Snowcat. My close friend Greg Needel, and one of the co-owners of the ranch with me, runs Rev Robotics and generously sent me a whole bunch of parts to make this happen. Now, we're basing the design on RC Test Flight Snowcat. I'll link to his videos down below. But we decided we wanted to make our own chassis design and just really use his design for the Snowcat treads and the rollers to put them on. So first things first, let's crack this box open and start putting the chassis together. Now, Greg and I did the design for this, and when I say Greg and I really mean Greg did most of the work. He was generous enough to cut on their giant laser cutter over at Rev some composite material for the top and bottom. It has this cool carbon fiber pattern on it. It's stronger and stiffer than acrylic. I think these are side rails that he also cut out. Rev's main business is supplying parts for FIRST robotics teams, the high school robotics competition. But what's really cool about this and why I wanted to build out of it, it's all kind of like an erector set. You just bolt it together. This is the aluminum extrusion. It's got these funky holes which fit their motors and shafts and a bunch of other things. We decided on brushless motors because they're basically waterproof. The first thing I need to do is cut these guys. Beautiful. So those will go through these holes here. It's gonna go like that. I need the collars that go on here. I probably should bolt them into the sides here. I was a little skeptical at Greg's design on this, but nope, these are rock solid. 3 more to go. I think that looks pretty good. I know I need to put in some bearings. We have these shafts sticking out, and then this comes and locks everything in place. Through there. I need to print out some wheels, so let's head over to my new Bamboo H2D. This thing has dual print heads, which is gonna come in real handy. I wanna do some multi-material wheels for summer with like a hard, rigid wheel and then a TPU tire on the outside. But for now, let's just get the wheels for the treads going with one material. Thanks to Bamboo for sponsoring this video. All right, these go here, and then these go in the middle. So these are drive pulleys, drive gears, and these are idlers. Ta-da! I think I need a spacer here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I think we're there on that. I think it's time to think about motors. Somewhat counterintuitively, you mount all of this at the end that the motor controller is on. It's gonna go on our shaft here. I really need to cut these shafts. This goes here. This to hold the wheel on. The next step is to replicate this setup across all the remaining motors. And I think I know what I'm doing now. That's a good stopping point for today. We have all our motors in, all our 4 sidewalls on. Greg's texting me right now. I just sent him a photo of what we did yesterday. He is suggesting that maybe we shouldn't put all 4 motors in, that it will be stupid fast. He even said that I should consider removing diagonal motors And that way we can have multiple gear cartridges stacked up. That will give us more flexibility. I don't want to take it apart, but I think he's right. All right, I am going to cut these 2 shafts, and then we'll see where we're at. This seems like it's too long. Let's mark it and recut it. Me.
Good God.
I'm okay. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, what
All right.
happened?
I don't know exactly.
Well, I'm not going to try and get that close up.
Okay.
I'm just going to be over here.
That sounds good. Ish. Am I bleeding? I have blood on my finger, but...
Oh, your nose right here.
Oh. Cute. Okay, so I was bleeding a little bit on my nose. No major injuries. That was scary. This is supposed to be an aluminum blade, but I've had kickbacks like that periodically. It seems to be mostly from moving too fast is my hypothesis, but it always catches me off guard. When I got back just now, I realized there are some teeth from the blade sitting on the carbide inserts. Are sitting on the table here. Well, we just assembled a bandsaw. We might need to start cutting on that. Whew! We're missing teeth here, 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 here. We should not be using this anymore at all. Look at this. This is horrific. That was definitely negligent on my part in terms of inspecting my tools. Regardless, even though this is chewed up, it should work. Just so nobody forgets. I think I'm gonna do both idler gears at this end. Then I can put a piece of aluminum stock here, which we can then mount things to the front. I have to pull this all out again to measure how everything works. I think we're pretty much there. Now to draw the rest of the owl. All right, I guess this is good. Let's fix it correctly. This is sort of how it goes, though. When we were building Switchback for BattleBots, it was like most of the work was just putting the thing together, taking it apart again, making some adjustments, putting it back together again. Each time we put it together and took it apart, it took like hours. And to be fair, I was mostly filming and not doing a lot of that work. Okay, I think we're there. We have wheels on the bus. I'm just gonna screw these down at the corners, and this will be the bottom. Let's look at this side now. The elephant in the room is that this thing is supposed to have tracks. Let's go print some out. I have some prototype treads here, and I printed these just out of PLA for now because I wanted to see how they fit together and how they fit on here before I print everything out of nylon carbon fiber. These go like this. We put nuts and bolts to hold them together. RC Test Light's version of this, he sold a kit that were injection molded, and it looked to me like he had metal inserts in these holes, but they're a little loose. But the idea is they sort of act as like a bushing. So I'm gonna just slide these in. That's pretty good. That's what we want. It looks like these just run over the top. These little bushings from McMaster are expensive, and I need 208 bushings. I'd like to make my own, and I bought some tubing. And the thought is just to like slice this on the bandsaw, except the inner dimensions are not what they were advertised on McMaster, which is the first time I've had that happen. I need to cut this into 10mm sections, and then I think we're gonna have to drill each one out a little bit. This thing was kind of shooting stuff on the fence, so just FYI. Do we know where that went? I will admit I don't have a ton of experience on bandsaws, so I might be doing something that's horrible. Cutting these isn't gonna do any good if they just fly across the room. others. Ow! Oh, hi! That's one. I need to do 207 more.
Dirt fell out.
I found it. You didn't see a lot washer, did you?
This thing?
Yep. We should put some oil in a little cup and then I can just dip this in there. Thank you, sir. I think that will work. 60, 61. I think we're gonna have to use the bushings that I bought because I only have 3 lengths of rod, but we're gonna cut all of it. The next challenge I have is that I need to drill out these holes, but I need a way to hold this. What if I had 2 pieces like this that I bolt together? I could drill a hole in each of them that isn't the same size, but would act as sort of a V-groove to hold them in. I mean, this is working pretty well, but it's still gonna take me a couple hours. So let's just see how these fit. Oh, those press fit in nice. I think the next step here is to print these out of carbon fiber nylon. So let's go do that. All right, I got my first batch of these, and I have a mixture of a couple different types, PAHT, PA6. We label them all just so that I know what's what. As stuff starts to wear out, I know what to reprint these in. Well, that's what I ended up with after a few minutes here. It's slow, so I'm definitely gonna enlist some help with this. Greg suggested drill batteries. I got aftermarket batteries, and then they make holders for them. Probably want to put this somewhere on the top where it's easily accessible. I also bought a waterproof enclosure. I was thinking of mounting it on top. Gotta figure out how to wire all this up. I need to put all of these on a bus that can handle relatively high current. This is a PWM that goes to the Raspberry Pi, which is gonna live in here. I think the move here is some standoffs. Your best e-stop situation is to cut power to your motors and any actuators, but not to your electronics. And that way you can still talk to the device even though you've hit the e-stop. I have a terminal block, but it looks like it's straight through and it's not connected across. Well, I could make this terminal block, I can make half ground and half not. So that'll be my 2 motor leads coming off of there, my 2 power. We'll have a ground bus. Right, this is all making sense in my head. I know I'm not describing it right. Regardless, I think I need to solder this. We have power, that's good. We have power over here, that's good. I think in the interest of time and flexibility, I am going to continue to stick things down with VHP tape. These are coming in to here. Lights there, that's good. And we have lights here, beautiful. I think that's where we're gonna stop for today. This is my first test print for the summer wheel. It came out pretty good. This part is PLA, and this part is TPU. And the idea is that the inside is nice and strong, and this part is squishy. And then I've got like rods of TPU going through here to connect it to the interior, because these don't bind well together. It's okay, it's not squishy enough. So I'm gonna need to make some modifications. And I tried just doing infill here for looks, but it's not strong enough. This H2D was key in making this happen though, because it's got the dual nozzles. So I've dedicated one to TPU that I actually swap on and off the printer. If you run TPU and another filament alternately through the same nozzle, apparently they clog pretty much right away. So I've dedicated one to just TPU. This takes forever to print. TPU is slow, so it's taken a couple days, but yeah, I'm gonna go make some design changes and then print out 4 more of these. But we still need a place for the e-stop button. All right, I'm just gonna put some screws around the edges here. Oh, come on. I'm gonna use the Dremel. These are gross. Oh, jeez. I can't hold on to anything anymore. Oh, come on! Wow. Okay, no more drills, geez. Or no more drills with high torque, with high clutch settings. Oh, I'm getting excited to go drive this thing. It's coming together. Beautiful. Uh-oh, Houston, we might have a problem. It is rubbing on these end plates. There's an easy fix, which is just take the end plates off. Still some rubbage. Maybe I just grind it down a little bit. It's really not very much. Yes. I mean, I could attach the other one, but I think really what we should do is spin a motor now that we have links attached. No! This is a problem. Dang it. That's a fail. I was not thinking about that. The short answer is I can just move them closer together, but it's a pain. It's fine on one side. It's just this one that needs to move, which I guess is better than they're both screwed up, but I must have not been very focused on that at the time. It's been a while. I had to take a break from this project because I did a trip to China. Last I remember, I was working on the electronics. I got to mount the camera. I do need to be able to get into the Raspberry Pi, which might be a good thing to work on. I'm paying Alex, who's been working on this. Alex is my junior engineer. He's been writing a lot of the server-side code to allow y'all to drive this over the internet. I don't know what we need to do to get it to work though. I might need to work on something else in the meantime. Where are we gonna put this? This is not the perfect place. The other option is to put it on top of here. Maybe I'll do that to start with. Yes. I currently have it in pieces, but I just had this plugged in, which is the Raspberry Pi for the Snowcat. The question is, how do I get this to show up as a robot on robots.electricranch.co?
With the code that you probably have access to, you can't.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back. Oh, I was gonna try and do some waterproofing on this. The hot glue gun is getting hot. I am going to coat the back of this camera board and maybe the front of this camera board to try and keep it from getting wet. And then we're just gonna have that sit there for the moment. All right, I'm back in. How do we get code on this thing and get it connected?
I have the repo updated.
Okay.
I'm not the one who put it on there in the first place.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're ready. We got lights on, the motors, camera's working. Forward. Hey! Backwards. Yes. Right turn. Left turn. Awesome. Let's mount this board, put the treads on, and give this a try for real. All right, we have power. E-stop is off. Camera is back online. Here goes nothing. Actually, not bad. Few tweaks here, but headed in the right direction, I think. It's okay, but it's definitely rubbing. I think I can probably just cut a little bit off this front plate here. Here goes nothing. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, that's pretty rad. Should we put it on the floor and try it? I'm a little bit terrified. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? Here we go. Okay, so it is set to run for a certain amount of time at a certain speed, every button push, and I need to fix that because that is too much. It's also a little on the fast side right now. Okay, I cut it in half. That's not gonna work for a turn. Oh, turn time is set to 2 seconds. Okay, let's set that to half a second. I'm gonna cut the speed in half. Okay, that's not bad. That seems good for turning. I mean, this seems pretty drivable right now. Part of what we're dealing right now is the latency of the camera affects how much control you have over the robot because you need to be able to see the effects of your actions. And right now there's just too much latency. But just in terms of amount of turn, I think that's pretty good. Ambrose, I'm coming for you. Are you not gonna move at all? You're just gonna hang out there? Excuse me. Okay, this is pretty rad. This is pretty much the experience we were going for. You need to add a microphone and a speaker so that you can hear and talk to people and the dog. Okay, let's see if we can back up the ramp. Yeah, I can't send commands fast enough for it to get up the ramp. Okay, that was a very successful first test. It feels so good to get this working. I ran out of filament, so I haven't finished printing all those summer wheels out yet, but I think we can keep testing with the treads. So a couple things to add. I've got a speaker, I've got a microphone, and a GPS receiver. That part's the easy part. The harder part is figuring out where to mount them. And then of course I gotta get the software to talk to them. Maybe this can sit up near the front, or maybe under here. Let's put the GPS receiver in. Let me see if I can get the software working. Seems like there's a problem with the camera. All right, so I handed off the audio issues to Alex. He said he got it working. Oh, we're gonna need a new battery on this. I don't think this battery's charged. Where did you get it from?
The charger.
According to this, it's dead. Yeah, nothing. These batteries were supposed to be fancy. They're from Fancy Buying Company. My only thought is there's some mention of a fuse, so maybe if the fuse is popped. This is extremely cheaply made. I think this is the fuse here, which is soldered on, and it looks to be intact. There's a hole right here, and if you stick something down that hole that's not exposed through the label, then you get at a switch. Could that be a reset switch? I think I have just the thing. It's a little adjustment screwdriver. There's, oh. That pattern indicates bad battery, but it also does that when the battery's not plugged in. I don't know. I think that would imply it's charging? Is this what it normally looks like when it's charging?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, I feel pretty good about that one. Maybe we can use this one a little bit just to test some things. We've got video! Let me see if we have audio. Check, 1, 2. Don't hear audio. It might be that we just don't have the text-to-speech configured. Alex managed to get the audio and the text-to-speech working overnight. So now I want to do a test stream with some folks from the Strange Parts Discord and test out our whole streaming setup. By the way, if you want to join the Discord, it's discord.gg/strangeparts. I'll put a link down below. But in the meantime, we'll see how this goes. Audio is very delayed. We're feeding audio from the robot into YouTube, and those are out of sync. Let me go look at OBS settings here. Okay, that's unbuffered. Oh, that's a really low latency to YouTube, actually. Like a second, maybe? Can we put like a delay on the video? Okay, I'm going back to the closet to try and work out this latency issue. But meanwhile, Justin, you can play around if you want. It's pretty fun. I'm adding a bit of a delay. Okay, testing the delay now.
I am in. Hi, Scotty.
Hello. Who's
Knock,
there?
knock. Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana.
I very much am. I don't quite know where the delay's coming from. Maybe it's just because you're taking a long time to type it. I'm not quite sure. Justin, you can just mash the buttons too. Like, you can go more and faster than you're going. There you go. The Yarbo lawn mowing robot is somewhere over there. You can go find it.
Wonder what happens if I drive into the mower.
You can try. It stops when it senses a collision. Yeah, you can definitely bully it. That's pretty funny. Okay,
Emergency stop.
It is definitely capable of running over the Snowcat, and it's like over 100 pounds. So
That's not good.
it's not great, no. We didn't really do any serious damage, but that was interesting.
The track noise drowns out all talking, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Ambrose. Meow.
We need to install a treat dispenser on the robot, and then he'll pay attention.
See if I can get by without running.
Yeah, you should be okay.
This has been a blast.
Hills require a little bit
Honey, I am home.
Okay, my laptop's running out of batteries. This might be time to call it a night here.
Yay, I finally get to go sleep.
Alright, I'm shutting it down. I have one more thing I want to do to this Snowcat right now. I want to decorate it. First, I need to thank some sponsors. Bamboo Lab for giving me this printer and for sponsoring the video, and Rev Robotics for supplying all the robotic parts. But then I need like a little strange parts logo there, I think. I brought this H2D over here, and I want to try out the vinyl cutting functionality. So I've got some red vinyl. Capture the image. Ooh, that's fast. It's done. Now I need to weed it and transfer it. Here's my little sticker. Weeding it is where you take out the parts you don't want. The question you're probably asking is, how do you get this from here over to there without misaligning any of the parts? And that's where the transfer tape comes in. So transfer tape is a removable sticky tape that you can put over the top and then peel off the back, stick it down, and then remove it, which I'm not sure I have. But in the meantime, let's celebrate the fact that that looks awesome. Well, I don't think we have any transfer tape, but I do have some packing tape. Ooh, look at that! Ta-da! Oh, that came out nice. I like that a lot. I want to put a face on the front of the robot. Jesus Christ. This has a mouth I'm not gonna use. This was generated by AI, and the mouth is terrifying. It's still really creepy, even if you ignore the mouth. I guess. I don't know if that turned out the way I wanted it to, but we'll take it. I think the decoration period on this robot is over. This project wouldn't have been possible without the sponsor of this video, Bamboo Lab, and their new H2D 3D printer. But this does far more than just 3D printing. It's a personal manufacturing hub anyone can use. It does laser engraving and cutting, blade cutting, and even pen plotting. Not only can you use these different functions for separate projects, but you can combine multiple processes within a single project. For the Snowcat, we 3D printed the wheels and the gears and the treads, and then we used the cutting head to create the vinyl decals to put on the outside. The H2D is also just designed to be a better 3D printer. While previous Bamboo Lab 3D printers really opened up multicolor and multi-material printing to the masses, switching between filaments was still slow and wasteful. The H2D now has dual nozzles with new calibration technology that makes them easy to use and accurate without any fiddling. We already talked about the advantages of the dual nozzles for that TPU wheel, that TPU PLA wheel, but also for prints that have two materials that you're switching back and forth between frequently, it speeds them up and wastes less material because you don't have to purge every time. You can just leave the two nozzles loaded, which is great for multi-material prints and prints that have a separate support material. Now, one of the common pitfalls I see with people who only have a 3D printer is that when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you start to get access to different tools and different processes, you can solve problems in more nuanced ways, mimicking how professional manufacturers approach design and manufacturing. For instance, if I want to make a storage container for the shop, I don't have to burn through a huge amount of filament printing the whole thing. Instead, I can laser cut the walls out of flat sheets of acrylic and 3D print just the frame that connects it all together. But best of all, this is an all-in-one machine which saves a ton of space in cramped work environments. Bamboo designed this to be the best all-in-one DIY powerhouse out there. If you want to pick up an H2D printer for yourself, head to my link down in the description. Buying from my affiliate link means I get a small cut, which helps me make more videos for you.
So it's been a while since what we shot in this video, maybe as much as a year, which I'm not super happy to admit, but we've just spent a lot of time debugging a lot of boring things like Wi-Fi roaming and camera streaming and GPS signal strength, and we finally got it working. So we're launching this video now. Come to the Electric Ranch channel to check it out. It'll be live streaming as much as we can when it's not raining, and you can drive it yourself. There's instructions on the channel, but also that's where we're gonna be posting more updates about this as we evolve and see what happens when we turn the internet loose on a robot here on the ranch. I have a ton more ideas for this robot and for larger robots that will be able to interact with the property here in more interesting ways. It really just comes down to you. Is this interesting? Is it fun? Let us know. I hope to see you on Electric Ranch.